I'm Joe.
I'm Annelise, and I tested positive for COVID-19.
I'm her boyfriend, and I probably gave it to her.
The last 16 days have been awful. It's been awful.
I recently found out that two of my friends have tested positive for the coronavirus, so I wanted to interview them to learn more about what's going on. And here's how it went.
I'm on day 16, and I finally felt so much better today. I almost cried because it's like I finally had the energy to put a little bit of makeup on, brush my hair. I didn't brush my hair for, I think, like 14 days. So that's where we're at.
When did you first think that you contracted the virus?
The biggest sign out of all of it was Annalise lost her taste buds 2 days before the CDC came out and said that was a symptom. So everything, we were kind of in like an internal battle saying like, oh, it's just the flu. Like, what are the odds that we have it? We don't know anyone that has it.
These aren't symptoms of it. Like, I'm not coughing. He never coughed. Like, wasn't coughing.
It just seems so foreign that, like, what are the odds that, like, she would get it? She was in isolation, like, 5 days before the CDC even came out with anything saying to quarantine. So,
I have a chronic illness, and I just had a surgery at the end of February, an angioplasty, and I was like, I'm not going to get sick. I get sick very easily. So I was like, let's take all the precautions. He was sick for 2 days, and I took care of him, and you want to tell me your symptoms? I didn't think he had corona, or else I would have stayed away from him.
my symptoms started out as dry mouth, and then it turned into more of a massive headache, and I had the fever. And I had like motion sickness. I felt like my equilibrium was thrown off for like 2-3 days. And those symptoms weren't really put out there. So I just kept trying to play it like, oh, maybe it was from this, maybe it was from that. And I just kept trying to tell myself like, I'm fine. Like, what are the odds? And
I thought he had a stress headache.
Yeah.
Or something, a stress migraine.
But it just lasted a lot longer. So that's when it started to like kind of play out like, oh, maybe this is a possibility. And then Annalise started to really start seeing the symptoms. And then once she lost her taste buds, that's when the sign was like, okay.
It was just a migraine. I couldn't look at the dark. I was just sitting in my room. I couldn't read. I had a paper due for grad school. Couldn't do it. My face was burning so bad. It was like a sinus infection on steroids. Randomly, I would get these shortness of breaths. I didn't get any today on day 16, but yesterday I got 2. It's like you can't breathe, and it's almost like your heart starts racing. I'm not sure if it's because you're having a panic attack, like a panic moment from the shortness of breath, but it's like it's hard to breathe. One other symptom I had was I would start shaking. I would become like so cold. I would need to be under a heated blanket, and I would have the jackets on and everything. You just feel like you got hit by a truck some days. You're just in so much pain.
So you're having Gatorade for the first time. Does it taste good?
I can't taste still.
Oh.
I still can't
I wonder
taste.
how long. Does anybody know how long that lasts? I hope it's not too much.
We've talked to a couple other people that have it, and they said 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they were like, hey, finally came back.
I can finally smell today a little bit better. Yeah, I was kind of happy. Like, okay, I can smell your breath. But
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want my smell back.
I don't miss that, yeah. So when did you decide that it was time to go get tested?
I think maybe day 5 of being sick, my dad's like, you should go get a corona test. It was definitely scary going to like the drive-through. It was like a weird feeling, like pulling up and seeing all these cars and all these police officers and all these people in these like hazmat suits.
It felt like a movie.
You like barely open your window and you gotta roll your window back up, but they give it to you and you take it in and you roll the window back up.
It wasn't what everybody was showing and fearing with this big stick up your nose. Like, it was pretty simple, right? You just swabbed the inside of your mouth.
They were doing the nose test, but they recently developed the in-the-mouth swab. So I went in there thinking I was going to get it stuck up my nose.
Yeah.
But they just developed the mouth one, thank goodness.
Like the back of it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Shake it 7 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Like we drop it in a box and then we drive off and we go back home and then they call and send you your results. What just happened?
I was taking a bath and I got a phone call. No caller ID, but I answered it. And it was a fire department. The fire department called, they talked to me for a minute, and then they told me that my results came back. It took them a long time to tell me. I'm kind of sitting there like...
Was he nervous to tell you?
No, he was very calm and matter of fact, but he told me, he's like, I'm sure you already know, but you have corona.
I couldn't get tested because I didn't fall into any of the categories. But so the problem with that is I got Annalise sick, and again, my symptoms weren't really the cough. So I didn't think that I actually had it or that Annalise had to be protected from it.
Is someone from the CDC contacting you, getting information from you, like checking up on you? I'm curious about that. Are they taking like research in?
We've become part of a research study now where they're trying to figure out how to create at-home testing kits. So a doctor came
Wow.
to our house and
Yesterday.
tested a few different methods, and they think they're trying to figure out which one's the most accurate.
So we did some up the nose testing yesterday.
On the front of the nose? Or is it on the side? And then, yeah.
Almost over.
All right.
And it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
wasn't
it's not that bad.
No.
And it's 100% worth it. If you think,
Yeah.
like, once they come out,
Do it. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
don't be scared of it.
If you had to guess, how did you get the virus?
I've been getting that question a lot too, and the real answer is that it could have came anywhere that I've been in the past 14 days. I could have gotten it in the mail. I could have gotten it when I was in the Uber. I could have gotten it when someone pet our dog. I could have gotten it literally anywhere. Someone making my food could have given it to me. I could have gotten it at the gym. Just think
So-
about like when you're at the gym, all the
Yeah.
surfaces and that everyone's touching, the treadmills, the machines. You're going on 10 different machines.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so transferable. Someone grabs the tricep pull down, whatever. Like, it's on there now. So like, it's impossible to really know where it came from, but it's just, I don't know.
He took precautions because I have my illness, and he would come home from the gym, put his clothes in the wash machine, and he'd get in the shower.
Were you scared when you found out you had it?
I'm still scared now just because you don't know if there's any everlasting effects. And you
Yeah.
don't know if there's any damage on your lungs that we don't know about, or if it makes you weak in some other way.
I don't know if I'm going to get the virus again. And it's mixed results. It sounds like I might not, but still at the same time they don't know, so it's very confusing and still scary.
I definitely thought that something worse could have happened just because it seemed like all the symptoms that other people were having kind of just like hit them. And I knew that we were on a path, and you didn't know at what point is it going to go down that road.
I'm still scared right now because I have a friend who had it, and she was okay for 3 days, and then after that it came back and she had to go to the hospital.
It came
So
back.
it came
Oh, wow.
back. Like, her symptoms weren't completely gone. So I'm still really scared right now that that's going to happen.
What is the recovery process like, and are you on a specific diet, I guess?
For recovery, we were just doing a lot of hot tea. We were taking Tylenol. The biggest thing was just resting, really.
Yeah.
Annelise had this little steamer, and she would just hit it on her face to help her breathe, clear her passageway. But from what we were told, to drink a lot of like hotter liquids to help keep your lungs open. I think that was the biggest thing. We would make each other tea like every hour.
If you could go back 3 weeks from now, what would you tell yourself?
I don't think that there is anything that I could have done differently because we weren't aware of all these other symptoms that people had coronavirus. There's nothing I could have done. There's nothing I could have done. I just really want people to know that there's a lot of other symptoms and just to be really careful so you don't get your loved ones sick.
A couple days ago, you were at getting your test done, and I saw in your video that there were kids riding skateboards and bikes by.
They were at a skate park 20 feet from all these people in hazmat suits. They were just sitting there. There was some skateboarding, just watching us get tests. It's like, why are you right next to us getting our tests done? Like, go home. They were hiking around us. It was like, why would you want to be next to all of us, these sick people in cars? Like, go home, get away from us.
How would you describe the current situation in America?
It's still really far away from being where it needs to be. And as people still go out and as things aren't shut down, it's only going to cause the virus to spread further and further. And then hospitals are going to be filled up more, and then beds are going to be taken, and it's just not going in the right direction right now. If you tell people to stay inside, people lose jobs. If you tell them to go outside, people die. So it's really hard, but there's got to be a better way to handle it than what's actually happening now. everyone's doing a great job, but I think it could be done better.
We're all relying on each other, but some people aren't doing what they need to do. You see people having 20 people over and they're having these coronavirus parties.
I was very skeptical in the very beginning when the entire epidemic started.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, I started to notice how more serious it was. And I think in the next coming weeks and months, a lot more people are going to be tested positive for it, and they're going to get more severe symptoms, and there's going to be more deaths recognized as COVID-19, just as more tests become available. Because even now, people still can't get tested. So you don't know who's a carrier and who's passing it on.
How are you getting food and products and whatever you need, essentials to live?
We've been ordering food, and then people have been dropping off stuff for us.
When they order food, though, we just yell through the door. Like today, the guy wanted us to answer the door. We're like, no, leave it outside.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
I'm serious now. It doesn't really hit home until you know when someone has it. And now it's like, oh, gosh. I'm happy. I'm learning a lot from you guys. Like, honestly, this whole experience has been, like, very enlightening. I feel like I need to take this more serious. I was taking it pretty serious before, but I think I need to take it even another step, because it's not about me. It's about everybody else and everybody doing their part. And that amazing 93-year-old woman that's in my life that I have no seal for a month because of this.
You could have a headache and you could have it and be okay and go see your grandma. And like, my grandma's older, you know, she's almost 90, and I don't want anyone going over there thinking that they just had a headache or it's allergies and it's actually they had the coronavirus and they're getting other people sick.
Yeah.
So our symptoms were so different, but now it's starting to become more popular that we have these symptoms, and they're actually happening more and more.
Thank you so much for letting me interview. Thank you so much for answering all of our questions. I know it's not an easy time for you guys. We love you. We hope you feel better, and keep us updated. And everybody out there watching, make sure you check them out on their channels. I'll add them right here.
Thank you for doing this. Like what you're doing is amazing. Like, you can get the word out and let people know like of all these different symptoms. So you can, even if you just help one person, like what you're doing is amazing.
Till next time.
Yes.
Thanks for watching the video, everyone. I hope this taught you a lot about what's going on so we can beat this virus and make the world a better place. If you want to see more of our videos, make sure to check me out at Ross Smith. I'll put it right here. And yeah, have a great day. Sing it for me, Granny.
I got the whole world in my hands. I got the whole world in my hands. I got the whole